This chair is a familiar one to you. But 10 years ago, when it was designed by Charles Eames, it was a revolutionary new chair, and I must say it caused quite a flurry. First introduced to the public at the Museum of Modern Art in an exhibit made up entirely of the Eames pieces. And since then, many more styles of the original have been designed. Here are some of the current versions which grew from it. And the designer, Charles Eames, has become almost a household word. And this morning we would like very much for you to meet this very clever designer of this chair, who is really parents, I believe. Isn't this your first, Charles? We met a long time ago when you were living in beautiful sunny California. There must have been something very important that's brought you to New York. What is it?
You know, it'd have to be important to bring us away from home. We're in New York to introduce a new chair for Herman Miller. And we're here so that your home audience can get a first look at it.
Fine. Well, we're looking forward to this first look. And did you notice the way Mr. Eames said our and we? Well, that is, of course, because almost always when there's a successful man, there is a very interesting and able woman behind him. And a better case could seldom be found than in Ray and Charles Eames. Come on in, Ray. Hello, I'm so happy to see you. This is Mrs. Eames, and she's going to tell us how she helps Charles design these chairs. How do you manage that?
Well, aside from serving as an extreme in the testing of the chair, there are a million things. But I think the most difficult thing is to keep the big idea, to be able to look critically at the work. But actually this applies to everyone in the office, including Charles.
Yes, well, I think it's the best, it's almost the best thing to have in a working family is a critical viewpoint of your husband's work so that he can improve along with it. Otherwise, he might be stagnant or stand still, which is certainly not the case with Eames. I wonder if you'd tell us some of the highlights of your careers in designing these chairs. How did you happen to get started with chairs? Ray, do you want to say anything about it? All right, Charles.
Well, Ray was a painter. Ray worked here in New York with Hans Hofmann for a long time, which is a pretty good start. I'm an architect. I always had a background of an architect, and I don't know if you know, architects think that everything comes under the heading of architecture, whether it's chairs or space platforms, everything.
Yes, even dresses and...
Oh, by all means, they have structure.
Everything is architecturally built. Well, I noticed that each of the chairs that we have here is slightly different in appearance from the original chair. I wonder if you're going to maybe take us through and show how the Eames chair has developed. And Ray, shall we let Charles do it, or do you want to help with it? No, you see, as I told you, she is behind the man, but terribly important. Thank you, Ray. All right, Charles, let's start with the first one right here, shall we?
I think this would be quite a chore. Actually, the molded plywood chairs are a result of a working with a mass production technique and, in a way, letting the mass production technique show through in the result. In the case of the plastic chairs, it's the object was to take a material which was a high-performance material developed during the war and try to make it available to householders at non-military prices.
And it's very practical, is it?
Well, they made shock helmets out of it. That should be pretty good. The wire and the upholstered wire pieces, these are, of course, old materials. Yes. But they're combined in a way to give a high-strength, lightweight, and high-performance result. The things are different, but this doesn't mean the attitude is different. It's just that there was a different objective, in each case.
I noticed that you have some of them that revolve here.
Yes, these are pivot things.
The swivel chairs, which are most attractive and most useful.